Well, Lewis, as we mentioned, these women just waiting. How many we got down there? So we got 4 or 5. So at least Thorne is going to pace them. Well, you'd have no one other, would you? It's great runner, second at those British Championships last weekend. So she'll do the early running. She could probably finish up and complete the distance, to be honest with you. But Victoria Weir, 6:40 her lifetime best, hasn't competed over this distance this season. But she did do that 1 mile steeplechase experiment, interestingly enough, at Oxford, the home of the mile, earlier on this year. She was second in that, studied out at Portland University, now running for Birchfield Harriers. So Victoria Weir, she'll go on the inside. Let's keep an eye out for her. There's a few others to look out for then, Lewis.
Yeah, a few others. Logan Jolly, the American, well out of America, had US trials, as well as Martha Collins, as we mentioned earlier. Stevie Lawrence as well from Croydon. Final race of the day then, Matt.
Yeah, Logan Jolly is someone who's going to attack that American record. It's 6:14, by the way. So whether or not she can do it, we will find out. But it would be huge to see a record. And well, we haven't seen any today, have we? But could we see one this evening for the final race of the day? She's going to have wave lights to help as well. And it looks like, can't see Elise Dorner in this one. So no pacemaker, just wave lights. And boy, have they got out hot, Lewis, on that far side. We're looking for 74s, and that would bring them in around about, around about that sort of 6:14 tempo, but they're way up on that. You'd expect it a little bit early on because there's no barriers, but that might come to bite.
Yeah, they've gone very early there. As a Logan Jolly, it looks like I think it's Martha Collins who is operating at around that pace light expectation. As they clear the water, Logan Jolly leading them away, followed by Stevie Lawrence and Yasmin Ostrich. As that pace light is starting to creep up on them now.
Yeah, goodness me, this is awfully fast for that first lap. Let's have a look. I believe this is where they started. So 72-ish for the first lap. That's very, very fast. We're looking for 74s. Way ahead of those pace lights. As you can see, the American, I mentioned she's going for that American record, but also 9:26 her lifetime best, which is right on, by the way, that World Athletics Olympic standard. But he was only 10th at those US trials. I mean, 5 women inside the standard there. Just phenomenal. Inside 9:15, so they really got after it. In the standard of chasing, steeple chasing in America right now is phenomenal, almost better than the likes of Kenya and Ethiopia. The talent they've got coming through, they've really taken up the event and just perfected it over the last few years. And we could see another American medalist, I believe, in Paris in a few months' time. Well, in a few weeks' time, sorry. It's getting to that point, isn't it? So Logan Jolly still out front, still ahead of those wave lights. They just look to be closing in on her, though. This lap certainly slower than the first. You'd expect it. First lap, no hurdles through that first 250 meters. But boy, when's it going to bite then?
Do have to wonder. Stevie Lawrence is trying her absolute best to try and keep with Logan Jolly as them wave lights start to creep in on her now. 2:27.28, give or take, was where we turned from the very beginning. And Logan Jolly still in a real bit of control here, and there's a real split up group at the moment. Yasmin Ostrich still operating in third, but Logan Jolly still moving quite nicely here and is in a very comfortable first place.
Yeah, just going to say Ostrich doing well in third place, mate. But here you are then, a kilometre, and those lights just starting to sort of close in on her. 3:07, 3:08 would be American record pace. And has she just been a little bit too aggressive? Look, once it goes in a steeple, you don't get it back. It's very hard. Once those legs give up, that's it. That's race over. But Logan Jolly, she's going to hang tough. And perhaps a little bit too excited over that first lap or so. She's just got to stay on it now. focus on the barriers, focus on every 80 meters. You know, that's how frequent they come. You've got to focus on that first 10 or 15 meters going in and that 10 or 15 meters going out. Don't worry about your pace too much in between. You can just see there faltering already on the landing from Jolly. So this is going to be a very, very hard last 2 laps with those lights potentially drifting away from her. What's that going to do to her mental state, to her psychology right now in this race? Is she going to lose a bit of confidence, or is she going to gain it as she can hang with them, as she can hold this?
She's really, really got to step up to the occasion. Maybe what might hinder her is there's no one close to her, no one competing against her for this first place. She's in complete control, and this is going to be a simple victory in the end for Logan Jolly. She's virtually competing against herself here, competing against, like you say, the mental side of this, and them lights are just starting to creep in front from Logan Jolly. We'll see how the landing is here through the water, and it wasn't the cleanest of getaways. So no, I think you're right here, Matt. We'll just see how she handles herself.
We will indeed, but she's had a solid effort over that last sort of 400 or 500 meters to keep pace to those lights. You can see she's taking off a lot closer to the barrier. She's not as confident in her takeoff now at this stage in the race as she was early on. She can't correct herself as easy either. But here we go, lap to run, 5 minutes. She's got to run a 74 to get this American record, ladies and gentlemen. It's doable, and she's got the lights to work off as well. She hasn't had a pacemaker, but we've got near perfect conditions here down at Birmingham University. The Americans tuning in, welcome. You could witness an American record here. She was 10th at those US trials in 9:26 over the 3,000 meter steeplechase. It's an event which isn't run all that often, let's be honest, but it's an American record nonetheless, and it shows good form. It shows perhaps she's better than that 9:26 she has on paper. And Lewis, it looks like she's going to do it. She's growing in confidence now.
She certainly is, and she's just got to keep it clean now towards the back end. We'll see how clean this exit is from this second to last hurdle. Here goes Logan Jolly. It's relatively clean as she pushes through now, Matt.
And she's going to take it down the home straight. I'm almost certain of it. She needs a good jump over this last barrier. We don't want no Evan Jagers at this stage in the race. She takes off right up close to it, clears it though. She's got the speed. She's got the wheelhouse to take this American record. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing a record-breaking run here in Birmingham. 6:11, 6:12 on the clock. It hasn't stopped. She's well inside it. She obliterates that American record of 6:14. And boy, oh boy, is she a name for the future when it comes to the steeplechase. We know the talent they have in America right now. You just got to put your hat in the ring every single championship year. And can she hang on in there till LA? But what a run here in Birmingham. It's not often we see that.
Absolutely not. She kept it clean, and you said with about 1,000, when she passed that kilometer mark, you said, how is the mental state, how's the psychology? Because she had no one around her. She's got to try, and she's only competing against herself. She didn't slow down. She kept with them wave lights and then extended the gap, and that's a fantastic run from Logan Jolly. One for the future, absolutely.
And that's the perk at the 2,000, I think. If you do go off a little bit fast, especially she had those lights, you could just really focus on them. She broke it down and she said, all I got to do is hold these lights for a lap. You know, and by that time, she then had 400 to go. And so I talk about the psych. I thought she overcooked it. She was very aggressive to start. But unlike the 3,000, you know, you can just hold on that little bit more. Whereas the 3,000, if it pops, it pops. But what a run from Jolly.
Absolutely. We can have a look again. She got away relatively well, was already getting to the front of the pack. No pace marker at all. She was always going to be near the front, always going to be leading this race. We didn't expect her to be as competitive as she was when we cleared that 1,000-meter mark, but she found that second and that third gear. And just have a look here. There are the lights. There are the lights. She's with them. She's with them. Now she's gone. Now she's ahead. And there's a record.